you can create exponential growth and at speed, because success loves speed, and relationships are the only way you can control that opportunity of speed and match that with success. So that's why relationships always trump revenue, man. That's the big one. Intimacy is a big deal.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode of More Clients, Less Effort. I'm here with my good buddy Sohan Gokarn from Melbourne. Buddy, how you doing?
Good. Doing great, my friend. How are you?
This is even better because not that you can see this because we're listening to a podcast right now, but Sohan has actually put up all these little flashy, video filters, which are actually a great way if you are networking to create a good brand presence with your customers. Sohan, yes. You run the Epic Wealth Academy, a global community of people who are doing some amazing things and really sort of, I guess, creating more impact through their business endeavours. Tell me how you got started, because this is not your first thing, is it?
Nah, definitely not. After 24 years of being in the world of, working with entrepreneurs, medium-sized businesses, large corporations like the world of Citibank and JP Chase Morgans and all these big fellas, and in different arenas, one thing was for sure, there was a lot of opportunity when the lockdowns happened about 3 years ago, and almost 3 years ago, because we had an opportunity to pivot, which we wouldn't have been able to had we not had that kind of level of experience and exposure to the world and the impact we've created among so many individuals and companies, both in the sales space and the marketing space and the digital marketing specifically. And so Epic Wealth Academy was born out of a necessity because 3 years ago, because it's one of the companies that we created, because it was co-founded, by the way, by my queen and I. We both co-founded the company. And
queen.
My queen. That's right. She is my queen. And she's also the queen of confidence on camera, by the way, for our clients. Vas Besson. That's right. And she's not here with us right now because she's looking after Bub. And she's covering that base of the business. But we had an opportunity, mate, because before that, we started a startup company called Epic Love Empire, which was to do with helping a lot of high-end professional women to be able to find real love. Because they struggle. They're so high in their achievement in their careers, but they really struggle with love. But we couldn't nail that place in that market, and we just couldn't get that message out that we wanted to. So, and then while we were working on that, the lockdowns happened, and it forced us in a nice way to really pivot and go into what people know us for, and also what we can make a direct impact quickly. And so that's where we did a massive pivot. Epic Wealth Academy was born. And we started impacting business owners, entrepreneurs who are forward-thinking, established, to be able to help them to grow their revenue through creating video marketing strategies and social media marketing strategies that will 10x their businesses, really, not just 2x or 3x or 4x or 5x, but actually look at 10xing their revenue. And now there are clients working on making 6-figure days and 7-figure days, not weeks, months, or years. So it's powerful.
Yeah, that's like super exciting, man. And interesting to see that pivot, I guess, from connectivity space. I mean, ultimately, what you were talking about is how we create authentic, intimate connection with our audience, isn't it? Right? Whether that be for the purpose of, finding the love of your life and a relationship, or really building a deep, intimate connection with your potential customer, it's the same thing, really, isn't it?
100%. Like, we speak a lot about conscious marketing is such a big deal, right, mate? Like, if you think about it, every single time if you put revenue and you put relationships on the same plate and you ask to pick one, most business owners would love to pick relationships. Why? Because if you had a choice between $100,000 and 1 or 100 relationships, you're better off picking 100 relationships, not the $100,000, because through those 100 relationships, you can easily capitalize, monetize, and blow it up to not just make $100,000, but you can make more than what you would have made out of the $100,000. Now, arguably, some people will say, dude, I can make 100. I would pick the $100,000 because I know I can turn that 100,000 into, 10 times the amount, $1 million. Yeah, you could do that. But you know what? With relationships, you can create exponential growth and at speed, because success loves speed, and relationships are the only way you can control that opportunity of speed and match that with success. So that's why relationships always trump revenue, man. That's the big one. Intimacy is a big deal. And videos is a perfect vehicle. It's it's a perfect medium to really convey that intimacy with an audience so that you can then have a conversation with them, and then therefore you can convert them into a client.
What do you think is the thing that holds back, right? Now I know we're on the same page when we say, look, when we're talking 6-figure days and 7-figure days, we're not necessarily talking about delivery of 7 figures worth of product, revenue, services, same day as you sell it, right? We're really talking about gearing up your sales and marketing engine, right? You're saying, how do I bring enough people into my world that they, and we're not talking, we'd love to think we get a 1-to-1 conversion ratio from the people who reach, but we know that's not true. In fact, it'd be scary with it because there's people in that who, as attention we get, that we're probably not best suited to serve. But talk to me about, when we talk about this 7-figure day and this 6-figure day, how important is it to, I guess, build the framework around that marketing to achieve that goal?
It's, what the best part is, as important as it is, it's also very simple to do. And that's the key in getting this point about how people can really build a framework around the motivation of wanting to build a framework around creating a 6-figure revenue day or a 7-figure revenue day is purely based on the knowledge of the mechanics of what goes in. But knowing that the fundamental principle of these mechanics is that you can make more money in a short period of time than you can make less money in a longer period of time. That is a mindset shift, a different perception and a different perspective that people have to look towards. And when they get it, it's massive, because then they can take the mechanics of putting that framework into play to actually facilitate those 7-figure or 6-figure revenue days. That's what we did. We haven't hit the 7-figure day. We know we've got clients who are doing it, but we personally have hit the 6-figure day almost. And we see the big difference in how we used to frame things in the pre-sale versus the way we frame things now in the pre-sale, the way we do it now. So we had a massive growth. We had about 400% growth in the first 2 months of the last 6 months based on this strategy that we tweaked. And this one strategy really helped, which is what I'm referring to, which is that mindset of making more money in a shorter period of time than making less money in a longer period of time. And a lot of times business owners are aiming for the low-hanging fruits to be able to create a framework around them, to be able to facilitate a sale up front, and then really gradually grow their client into a higher paying premium client.
Yeah, I want to come back to that. Come back to that. But before we do, talk to me about a time, early on in this transition where you got it horribly wrong and why.
Yeah, what happened, we had a situation where we didn't know where the revenue was going to come from, because we got scattered with the whole framework of focusing on, okay, let's go with a small ticket item and grow it from there. Now, the way we run our businesses, we're not an agency style business, right? We don't create video content for people. We provide our clients the strategy, the framework, the templates, and then we mentor them through the process for them to go ahead and do what they need to do. And then we hold them accountable and also challenge them so that they can end up getting the outcomes they want as promised. So in this process, we made a big mistake of offering smaller ticket items. What I mean by that is we would offer programs at a very cheap price. And that was the biggest mistake we made. We would focus on a low price. And what that did was that attracted a lot of, low ballers. So people who, we say cheap prices attract cheaper people, right? Free things attract freeple people. Low fee kind of offers attract feeple people, but premium offers attract preple people. And we made the mistake of offering low fee. We were cutting prices down because we were trying to increase the volume of leads. So we thought maybe it's the price point. And a lot of people tend to make that same mistake. A lot of entrepreneurs go, oh, you know what? Maybe we need to drop the price because we're charging too much and we're not really bringing in the kind of volume we anticipated or we planned for. And so the goal, and they start discounting, and then they start looking for opportunities to throw in a Black Friday sale and this sale and that sale. And the reality is you don't need to do any of that, because if you stand by your pricing and you you shift the focus on the price and you start focusing on the message that you're conveying and refine and dial that message in, you'll attract the kind of crowd you want to attract. And our mistake was we weren't focusing on that that message. So we started attracting clients that we didn't want to have. Yes, some of them would pay us a lot of money as well, but those were nightmare clients. We didn't want them. I mean, some of them would pay 20 grand and we'd go, biggest mistake we've made. So we'd want to fire them and not want to work with them almost. So that was a big mistake. And then we had to shift that because we hired a mentor and partnered up with him. And, we said, okay, we're going to make this probably one of the largest investments we made for us end of last year during the whole crisis. And we said, okay, what do we need to shift? And the first thing that we were guided on was to say, right, stop charging so little, start charging way more than what you're charging. Why? Because we knew that we were capable of delivering world-class stuff, and we were already delivering world-class stuff. And you know what the funny thing is? I mean, Tim, every single person we spoke with in our clientele, we asked them, what do you think this is worth in different programs? And everyone would give us some ridiculously high number of value. So if they did a $497 program and we asked them what was this worth, we'd get responses from $1,500 all the way to $15,000. And we'd look back and go, what are we doing? Like, we're scratching our head and going, shouldn't we increase the price? And we go, no, let's not increase the price. Because if we did, we wouldn't get these kind of customers. And we kept making that mistake over and over. And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over, trying to expect a bloody different outcome. So that was a big fault. And then we took responsibility for it. We said, no, let's make a change. And so we shifted the goalposts and strategies in October last year. And come November, we made an official announcement to go. So we've got a membership program called Video It. And it's a program where entrepreneurs come in and on a weekly basis, they shoot videos based on the strategy we give them, which is 100% proven, tried, and perfected in the marketing space to generate leads and to generate engagement. So they come in on a weekly basis and they receive support and they get challenged, accountability. So they get support and accountability, and they got to make sure they do. So we hold their feet to the fire along with the strategies we give them. This program membership was available at $1,000 a year. Okay.
Where did you go to? Because price is an interesting one, I think, in general. And I know you took a massive shift in price. Give me the number that it is now.
27,000.
Okay. Right. It seems kind of crazy to say that out loud and go, we've gone from $1,000 from product to 27,000 and not really changed a great deal of what's actually in the product, right?
No.
And I would agree with it. I think, too often we as entrepreneurs, we undervalue ourselves, right? And that's that little devil on our shoulder that says, you're not good enough. And we all have it, right? Let's be honest. We all have it at different times. Even the entrepreneurial greats out there are probably going, yeah, kind of don't really know what I'm doing and I'm making this up as I go along. But, we're making informed choices based on, a body of work that's, I make really good choices. But we often don't charge enough for our product. And it means we can't necessarily give the same value because we're having to go, we have this tension point, don't we, between I feel like I'm getting ripped off and you feel like you're getting ripped off.
Yep.
In air quotes out, right? But it is that, it is this value conversation. And when we do charge more for our products and services, we can actually add a lot more value and get our clients a better result. But we also start to attract better clients, don't we?
Oh my God. Like a massive difference, right? Like when we made the announcement in November to the guys and we said, hey, you know what? All of you are grandfathered into the $1,000 and you're fine. So you guys will continue to pay $1,000. But anyone else that you decide to choose to refer Video It too, because we have an affiliate program, and every client who comes in, every member that comes in a Video It has an opportunity to be an affiliate as well. And if they want to promote it and pay it forward, they sure can. We said to them, it's not going to be you can refer and they just come in and because no one's got $27,000 to just drop it like that these days and hand it over to you and say, let's get going.
Right. It's like if we had $1 million, we just spend it on ads.
Exactly. So
I'll keep $1 million.
Correct. So therefore, it had to be an application process. So now anyone needs to come into Video It, they come into an application process, right? And so before they come into an application, before they can apply, they actually get a taste. We give them a taste as a sample of what they can, what it feels like to work with us through a challenge. And then, once they go through that, then they feel like it. And if they decide to want to work with us and they apply, and there's no guarantee they get in even after applying, because there's got to be a fit. And we're very, 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 very choosy. And there are a lot of people out there. You know how there's gurus and all those people who put these applications out and they tell you that, okay, well, we will select you based on a fit. You heard that? Strategy calls and application. Yeah. Those people will say that, and then they'll try and convince you through their script, either through the discovery call or slash strategy call or their form to get you into their program. We, on the other hand, are completely the opposite. If for a moment, if we hear anyone, and by the way, this took a long time for us to learn, it was character building, but I'm glad we did. We got so detached from the outcome that now when someone says, well, I need to think about it, our response is, then you are not getting into our program and you're not ready. If you're thinking about it, you need to go to somebody else. I'm telling you now, go to somebody else. So it's total encouragement, and we don't even care if they don't apply. And so when they do, we're stringent about that. That was a big shift, mate. Like the messaging is what we started focusing on because of the price point. And so we started attracting a different level of a caliber of audience to the program. Now we're talking about.
I think super important point there is actually it's okay to say no, and both, big takeaways for me in that is actually sort of increasing your ticket price and having an application process and actually saying no to people actually is quite transformative, right? And I think we often fear that, oh my God, if I say no to someone, where will my next customer come from?
Right.
There is the next customer there. And because you're charging more money for your products and services, you can actually have the opportunity to work more in depth with the ones that you are attracting. Incidentally, if you want to buy anything from me, I will keep our current prices for another week, and then you can then they go up. Right? So just reach out.
Now, if you're going to work with Tim, right? Now, make it happen yesterday, because I'm telling you, he's increasing the prices up of this conversation.
So it's not 27,000, it's 37. All right. So I know you've got it in your process to attract a high number of really high quality people in to your funnel, to your sales and marketing machine. You run a video challenge. Talk to me about. Actually, well, talk to me. I mean, video is just the means of doing so, and we've spoken about that, about why. But talk to me about this idea of what a challenge is and why you'd run one, and perhaps let's touch on who it would be good for.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? We started challenges about 3 years ago, just when COVID came around, or just around that time, because one of the things that we've noticed is that people find it hard to execute on the simplest of simplest tasks on their list of things to do. It's crazy. I mean, we all do. We're all guilty of doing that. And a lot of times those simple tasks have a massive impact on the final outcome of whatever people are trying to achieve in their businesses. So what we decided was, if we're going to go into a challenge, we need to make sure that the challenge is like a triage. Just like if there's an emergency and if you're bleeding internally and if the bleeding is going to cause fatal death, and the only way to save the patient is to break a particular rib that they could get into and then stop the bleeding. And if they have to break the rib temporarily, they will do that, but they will save that life. That's called a triage. I know it's a gory kind of a metaphor, but to bring the point home, it has to be a challenge. Whole idea of a challenge is to really stretch someone to get off their comfort zone, get out of their familiar territory, and actually take massive action for that simple of simple things to get that done, because that simple thing has a massive impact on their life, right? As far as their business is concerned. So, or personal lives as well. So with that intention, we created a program and a challenge, which was it's not a course. It's not one you buy and put it on the shelf. There are no replays, right? You can't go back and catch up. You got enough to catch up on anyway, which is why you're missing out on most of the things. So none of that is available. This is purely a doing event. It's a pure action-based event, a hyper-action event. That means you come in on day one. It's a 5-day event, and people come in on the first day, and boom, the first day itself, they get to know exactly what kind of videos to create, for who they're going to create it, how they're going to target it, what kind of message they're going to put out. They get exactly the what they need for creating the content of each video on that day one. And off they go after that an hour later, and their assignment is to shoot those videos. And then they publish those videos or post them at least in the private group of the event, of the challenge, so that we can provide them with feedback during the challenge. But they can certainly use those videos, in their ad campaigns or organic posting, whatever they do on all their platforms. So we do that every single day. And then once the videos are done, now what? Like you're generating leads and engagement through your videos. Great. but how do you convert those now? How do you have a conversation and convert them? And so that happens during the challenge, and we lay down the strategy. We give them 5 different frameworks and strategies that are proven, trial tested, that actually have created over $14.2 million in revenue and sales. So we give that, hand it over literally to them, so they can literally take that, and if they choose to execute, they can get that kind of result, or can get more or less, whatever. They'll definitely get results. Like, we've had crazy results, dude. Like, we've had people who've had multiple 6-figure joint venture deals come out of it from one video out of 20.
Let's talk mechanics. In this case, we're using video to convey the message. All right. The challenge itself is, let's talk nuts and bolts here. Registration page, right? Obviously, you're blasting out, with some pre-content using video, obviously, to say, come into our challenge through your social media channels. Presumably, you're sending out a bunch of emails to your list as well for people who haven't done the challenge before, or potentially done the challenge but not progressed on to the next step. We want to do those people again, right? So we're going to re-engage them who weren't quite ready the first time.
Correct.
Day 1 live training, presumably, come in.
Yeah. So we have 2 levels in the challenge. People can attend the general admission, or they can attend the VIP. It's up to them. We're actually about to introduce a VIP Platinum, and that'll be a higher price as well. So right now, general admission is $97 US. This is a session where people get in once they register, and from day one for the 5 days, they go into the Facebook group to attend the event, virtual event, and we live stream it inside the Facebook group. Okay. But if they want to have questions answered, if they've got questions, because everyone's got questions, everyone's got some level of bottleneck. Or
you probably want to create the opportunity to ask questions. That's the VIP experience, right? If Correct. You have questions, you join the VIP group.
100%. So that's where we do a special Zoom session 1 hour prior to the general session. And they get access in the Zoom room to sit down with us and ask questions specifically for their business. And we can coach them and give them high-level coaching and guidance and answer their questions specifically for their needs in their business. Now
we're running a bunch of emails to get people to day 2, day 3, day 4, building on the narrative. Day 5 and day 5 is like, join our vet. Okay, do you want to continue on with us? Buy more stuff, right? Okay, so we got the idea of the challenge. I want to know, how, when you introduced this challenge, how did it transform? We're talking about 6-figure days, and we're really talking about this challenge is a paid sales event where you're getting to give people a little sneak peek of what they get in your main program, isn't it? That's how we really generate these 5, 6, 7-figure days, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we're very transparent, and we let people know right up front on day 1 that we will be making them an offer on day 5, and they will have an opportunity to apply. And only if they make it, then we go ahead and receive the payment. We do not accept payments during the challenge for that. When we do put it out, it's an application only, and only the applicants get a chance to see the offer. And then based on that, whoever is keen to get involved, and based on who makes it through, then they get through, and we move forward with a program, which is a year's program. So the reason why we choose to charge for it, because we've had people say to us in the past, do a free event. It's better to do a free event because you'll reach more people. And we're not interested in doing that, because when you do any kind of free thing, it attracts freeple people. And I have nothing against freeple people. I like free stuff too sometimes, but
freeple people.
Yeah, freeple people.
Okay, we don't want no freeples going forward.
We don't want no freeples. So freeple people out the game. We don't want them, because when people don't pay anything, they don't pay any attention. When people pay a little, they pay a little attention. When people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. So if I get someone to pay a little, they'll pay a little attention compared to someone who doesn't pay anything at all. So that's step 1. But now that someone is paid, we call it confirmation bias in the sales process, which means if I've paid something from you, or bought something from you, and if you're going to make an offer to buy something from you again, chances are high that in my rationalization and justification and my emotional decision of buying, because every decision that's made from buying is an emotional decision, and then it's backed up by rationalization and justification, I will have a biasness towards my own actions of buying from you, because now in my head, I'm going, you know what? Or in my heart as well, I'm going, I like the guy. I've already bought something from him. So it's not a matter of me he's not trying to rip me off. I already bought something from him. So, I'm already a customer. So that subconscious conversation that occurs is called confirmation bias. And therefore, I'm more biased towards the confirmation of me purchasing already from you. Therefore, I'm happy to pull out my credit card or pay for whatever you have to offer, because I can see the promise in the land.
That's right. And you're absolutely true. But it also recognizes that the thing you're delivering, even in the challenge, even as a little sort of micro taste test, that has value to people too. And if they don't want to recognize that value, they're never going to recognize value in 100%. The bigger thing, are they?
Insane. No, they won't. And that if they don't recognize, sometimes what happens is people they don't even apply when they made the offer, right? They don't even go through the application process. They decide before even looking at it, before I even complete my sentence, many of them just resign from the idea of doing it. And so they've automatically disqualified themselves. And I've got nothing against that. I completely support that. And I, in fact, congratulate them for, opting themselves out and not taking a chance. But there's one thing for sure. We don't hold back at all during the challenge, mate. Like, I might say that we're giving a sample to someone, but I say that because it's only 5 days of hanging out with us. That's why it's a sample. But in saying that, we don't hold nothing back. Like, our goal is if we've got 100 people in the room and no one made it through the application, it's perfectly fine. We want to make sure that in those 5 days, we've made an impact. We've created an influence, and we've definitely gone ahead and got them involved in their, next level that they want to go to with their video content.
My last question around this, right? Challenge. Clearly, we're all convinced now that challenges are the way to go. And if you're not doing a challenge, right, have a think about how that might work in your sales process.
Great model.
Is there a particular type of business, right? You're in a coaching consulting business, right? You run a community of entrepreneurs. Do you think that a challenge particularly suits a coaching style business, or could you run a challenge for your plumbing business?
Oh, good question. Any business, bro. Any business on the planet. The best part is you could have an e-commerce business. I mean, plumbing business is easy, right? Why am I saying that it's easy? Is because most service-based businesses don't understand the power of productizing their service. They don't know how to productize their service. So a challenge is a digital product. And if you can productize your service and create a challenge out of that, the challenge comes from the idea of what you're productizing. Meaning this, as a hypothetical example, if I were a plumber and if I knew the truth that I could make more money teaching other people how to run a plumbing business than me going as a plumber and running a team of plumbers in my company and going and servicing clients to solve plumbing issues. If I knew I could make more money teaching other people the plumbing world, I would instantly jump on the bandwagon and productize a way to then create a product that'll serve these people, like a course or an event or a coaching program of some nature, even a challenge, right? Like, you can go and attract these aspiring plumbers who want to start their plumbing businesses. They're studying, they're coming out of school, and they're learning how to be a plumber. You can be the go-to guy as an expert and show them how it's done because you're already running a successful business as a plumber. And so now you have a chance to create a challenge and lead them through a way, showing them take one simple step and show them how to do it. And all you're putting in is about if you did a general admission session, which is 1 hour, you did a VIP, that's another hour. So that's 2 hours times 5 days. Let's say you had a graduation day and you have a 6th day, or you wanted to throw in a bonus training, you had a 6th day. So that's 6 choose a 12. So you got 12 hours of work and you dropped an offer, which is about, $10,000 a pop. And out of 100 people that joined your challenge, you got 10% conversion rate. Dude, you made $100,000 straight up.
Not bad for 12 hours work, right?
Exactly.
I'm just seeing the EPA in your future, mate. The Epic Plumbing Academy.
I'm definitely.
Let's wrap things up. I want to do a quick fire round, and certainly you've absolutely dropped a ton of value bombs for our listeners today. So, guys, go back and play that through again. There's some absolute gems in amongst all of that stuff that Sohan shared with us. Mate, let's finish up, as I said, with a bit of a quick fire round. Short answers. We're going to sort of see if we can knock this out in about 2-3 minutes. So let's start with this one. Let's go with how would your parents describe what you do?
Wow. Okay. My parents would describe saying, and this is how they'll say it as well. Okay. If I literally said it, because I'm originally from India, right? From Mumbai. So this is how they say, our son, he lives overseas in Australia, and he runs a business. He runs a company. He's a speaker. He does marketing, but he's a speaker. He runs his own company. That's what they'd say. Love it. I've told them a million times what we do, but clearly the message is not clear. So
hi, Mum and Dad. We promise not to. We were kind with the bits we took out.
Totally.
All right, number 2. What's your favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs?
Ooh, There's a website called Tiny Wow. Tiny Wow is my productivity hack. There are so many things that you can do on the website. Do you know about that?
I don't know about Tiny Wow.
Oh my God, you got to go check it out. Tiny Wow. I don't know whether it's a .com. I think it's a .com or .io, but Google Tiny Wow and you'll find it. And it's essentially a website where you can do things with regards to video, images, PDFs, all that. You can do conversions straight away. Like, for example, yesterday we were trying to do something with an image and we're trying to bring that graphic on. And I realized it was an EPS file. I couldn't find the PNG of it and I couldn't find JPEG. So I quickly went to Tiny Wow and boom, of course it was there, right? EPS to PNG. Boom, converted it, brought it into my Ecamm. I'm sweet, good as gold. Like, it's a great productivity hack because it's quick, it's dirty, it gets the job done. And it's when I say it's dirty, I mean, it's quick and there are no many steps to go through. So for me, that's productive because time is the most infinitely valuable asset that we have, which is completely finite.
Yeah, awesome. What do you think your unique skill is that has allowed you to be as successful as you are?
My ability to get people to implement and take action.
Love it. What's your motto?
What's my what?
Do you have a motto?
Yeah, I do. 4 words. Let it be easy.
I was about to say, let it be done. Let it be easy. Even better. All right. Last but not least, all right, if you had to write a book tomorrow, what would you write about?
Well, that's actually a good one. It's actually going to be it's going to be about epic. So we in our family, we call it epic love. So it's going to be something around epic love. And epic love involves our baby because he's an epic love baby now. We've got a 2-month-old baby, 2 month and 1 week old baby. So it's fun. So we're going to write a story about how things transformed for us. And we had 10x super life within a span of just 3 years and a bit after 45 years of searching for each other's souls and what we've created as an empire for the community we're impacting and how it's going to have an impact on the future billion families that we're looking to impact by 2029. That is going to be a really
I love that, man. Like, and it is, so much of us looking to create that impact, right? And we can only do that through the vehicle we create. And if we own it and live it, we'll create that impact. Absolutely. Yes, if we want to find more about you and the Epic Wealth Academy and running a video challenge, where can we find you?
I live on Facebook, so easily accessible on Facebook. If you guys do a search, Sohan Gokarn, Gokarn, that's my last name, N for November. But if you guys do a search on me, you'll find me on Facebook. You'll find me on Instagram as well. My Insta got hacked recently, so building up a whole new channel, and it's the real Sohan Gokarn.
The real as opposed to the pretend Sohan Gokarn.
Right.
Yeah. Don't follow that guy.
Try to win that back from Instagram. They wouldn't let me have it. So yeah, so you can find me on Facebook or Instagram. Easy to find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. But I'm not active on LinkedIn because most of our clients live on Facebook and Instagram, which is where we need to be. But yeah, I'm available on LinkedIn under the same name. So easy.
Absolutely, guys. Sohan, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you sharing, shamelessly and generously your knowledge. Guys, definitely go and check out Sohan on Insta and Facey. Connect with him. Great guy to know. Looking forward to connecting up next time I'm down in Melbourne as well, mate. Guys, appreciate you joining us for more clients, less effort today. Looking forward to next week, another episode. We're going to bring you some tips and advice on how you can optimize and automate your sales and marketing machine. If you've liked today's episode, please subscribe. Go up to the 3 dots, press that, share, like, subscribe, etc. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks for having me. You're a great interviewer. I love it. And your questions are awesome. I love it, mate. Thanks a lot. We should do this again. Jam. Let's go.